welcome back to Blackfeather Guild. We're going to be playing some Water tonight, which is my own tabletop game. It's built on Fundamental RPG First Edition, with a whole bunch of stuff added in to make it a survival tabletop game. If you're familiar with games like Subnautica, The Forest, Green Hell, even a little bit of stuff like Minecraft, that's basically what this game does, is it takes that type of genre and puts it into a tabletop setting. It's pretty fun. We've had 3 character deaths so far. We're going to see what happens tonight. But basically our players, their characters have crash landed on a hostile alien planet that is comprised almost entirely of water. It's a big giant ocean. And there's lots of things in there that want to eat them. And they're trying to figure out how to survive until help arrives, or they can get off of the world themselves. Before we go meet all the cast and we jump into all of that, though, I wanted to take a quick second to talk about viewer actions. So there are ways that you can actually participate from the audience. It's pretty cool stuff. One of the easiest ways to do so is if you look at chat, the game tweet. So every 10 interactions on that, which we already hit 10 before we even started. So every additional 10 interactions after that, that's likes, retweets, and comments. A D4 will go to the cast and to me as the dive master in this case, game master, dungeon master, whatever synonym you would like to use there. And we can use those on any rolls to boost our numbers. So if we're not quite meeting a DC, then we throw in a D4 and try to push it over that edge. Aside from the tweet, there's a number of other ways that you can interact. One is through guild coins. There's a little chart here with some of the plot point things that you can purchase with those. But there's other things as well. If you look at the little round rainbow colored icon right below your Twitch chat box, it should have the Blackfeather crest on it. It looks kind of like that. If you look at that, click on it, it'll show you the full menu of things that you can get with those guild coins. Plot points being the most interactive thing that you can do with those. Plot points allow you to add to, change, or remove from things in a scene. Depending on if you buy 1 plot point or all the way up to 4, the changes or effects can be greater or smaller. The DM does have final say on what gets added in, so there may be some editing of your suggestions if it doesn't fit the story particularly well, or if it would be game-breaking or anything like that. Might tweak it a bit, but for the most part, we'll try to stick as close as possible to what you would like to see. There's a full description of plot points in the panels down below, or you can click on each individual thing in that guild coin menu. You get guild coins just by watching the channel, and if you're a subscriber, you get those at twice the rate. So pretty cool stuff. Aside from that, you can also do direct donations. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. If you look at this chart over here at the bottom, coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks, either one will take you to a place where you can directly donate. That helps keep the lights on, keeps me eating and things like that. So those are direct donations. You can also do subscriptions and bits through Twitch. If you look at the little bar right up there in the corner, that's how we're doing for the month on subscriptions and bits for our goal. And in addition to getting the viewer actions that you see on this little chart over here, subscriptions gives you access to some pretty cool emotes and things like that on the channel. And bits will work towards emotes as well. We've got, I believe, 3 bit emotes that you can unlock, and it's the effect is cumulative. And once you unlock those, I believe you have those for good. So very cool stuff that you can do through that as well. And then finally, Patreon, which I'm going to put in chat. Our Bard tier patrons and higher will get credits towards viewer actions every month. The Bard tier starts at $15, and the cool thing about that is that in addition to the other things that you get access to through Patreon, you will also get $15 worth of viewer action credits to spend throughout the month. You can claim them whenever you like. You just message me in chat and say, hey, I want to use my credit towards viewer actions, and we'll throw it in there. It's very cool stuff there as well. One last thing to say about Patreon for right this moment is a really great time to join. Bard tier and up patrons get access to the playtest version of Fundamental RPG 2nd Edition, which I just wrapped up all the editing on this week. Let's see, what is today? Tuesday? So that was yesterday. Yeah. All the days have blurred together recently. But yes, we just finished up editing this week, and it is now available to playtest. And it is the child edition, the successor, that's the word I was looking for, to the system that we're going to be playing tonight. So very cool stuff if you want to check that out. I'm also doing a one-shot on Friday with that system to help playtest it. I've got a couple spots left open for that. It's 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On Friday, if you'd like to join, just shoot me a DM, and I'll get you a spot in the game. And I think that is everything. So I'm going to real quickly tell you what these viewer actions do, and then we'll go hop in and meet the cast and get started. So right over here you can see the D4 and the D6, pretty self-explanatory. A switch allows you to change somebody else's action word. So if it's going to the cast or to the DM, depends on who will throw it out there. But to give you a classic example, if you've got a bard in the party and they keep seducing the dragon and you're really tired of them seducing everything that they come across, if you're the DM or another player and you have a switch available, you can say switch, and they'll have to change the word seduce to something that's not a synonym. So it's a fun way to nudge the story in different directions. It's also a really fun way to throw a curveball to the DM. So it's a lot of fun. Advantage in rerolls means you roll twice, take the better of 2 results. Advantage has to be used before you roll, whereas a reroll can be used at any time. So if you roll a nat 1 and you're like, oh no, this is going to end horribly, if you have a reroll available, you can try again. Whereas an advantage is something that you probably want to do before a crucial roll. A complication is a lot like plot points on steroids. You type in 1 to 3 sentences of whatever you want to do, and we'll throw it into the game. Again, there may be some tweaking, like if you say the big bad evil guy falls over dead all of a sudden. It's going to be game breaking and kind of mess things up for us, so we might edit things like that. But for the most part, you get a lot more leeway with complications than you do with plot points. And we'll try as much as possible to fit in exactly what you want into the game. Swap 2 players for 5 minutes means they will swap characters, playing each other's characters for 5 minutes, and that includes me. So you could have me playing one of their characters, the cast members, and one of the cast members DMing for 5 minutes. That one's super fun. And then finally, for $20, the 1-up. And this is a particularly useful one in this campaign. If there's a character you really don't want to see die, this will give them a fighting chance, because rather than dying, they would come back at 1 hit point and be able to try to get away from whatever situation they're in. And as I mentioned, we've had 3 character deaths already this game, or this campaign, and this planet is actively hostile. So if there's a character you really want to see survive, that's a great way to make sure that they do. That will give them a fighting chance. And typically when a 1-up is used, I'm a little bit more helpful as a DM in helping the characters get away. Unless they do something really, really not smart. Yeah, I think that is everything. So we're going to go meet the cast and get this show on the road, as they say. There we go. Hello, everyone. So we're going to start by introducing this fantastic cast. I'm going to start in the top left and go with Alex. Tell us a little bit about Susie and yourself.
Well, Susie was supposed to wake up on the other side after Chuck, their parent, had gotten there and all set up and ready to have their kid unthawed. But now she's awake, and her parent is dead. What is a 15-year-old with a pocket knife to do?
All right, next we've got Zan. Tell us a little bit about Wilfred and yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Zan. Super, always an absolute pleasure to be here. And Wilfred is a holy man, and I'm sure he's got no ill intentions for the rest of the party whatsoever.
Of course not. All right. Next, we've got Leopold the Just. Lee, tell us a little bit about Lyle and yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leland, Leopold, Just, whichever one. Any of the, preferably not the just part. If you're just like talking to me, conversation, that's weird. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
What about the?
Yeah, just like cut them out. Just the. That's like yes, that's very non-specific. Anyway, all right, I am playing Lyle, which is basically like my inner anxious voice, and so far he's survived, so that's good, right? Or I don't know, maybe I'm trying to kill them all. I don't know. We'll see.
It's certainly something that I'm sure the rest of the crew is considering, since usually when you leave with somebody else, they end up dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's a thing that happens. That's not my fault, though. Let's be honest.
All right. Next, we would have normally be introducing Patrick here. They are having some stuff going on at work, so they had to stay late, and they said they will be back with us, I believe, right after the break. So Patrick will be joining us later. He's playing Owen Griff, who is a chef. And it's been really funny watching the chef go, I don't know what to do in this situation because there's nothing to cook. But yeah, we'll be hearing from Patrick later. So let's hop over to Jay. Tell us a little bit about Tamsin and yourself.
Hey, I'm Jay. I'm a GM here on the Guild as well as other places. You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter at AlienJays. And I am playing Dr. Tamsin Olens, who is way out of her depth as a astrophysicist with a group of random professionals and a 15-year-old with a knife. So she's mostly just trying to figure out how to survive both the monsters and the people.
That is very fair. And then last but not least, we've got Econorlax. Tell us a little bit about Boris and yourself.
Well, I'm Econorlax. You can find me playing games here and tweeting things on Twitter. Also as Econorlax, and Boris is he's a big guy with big mustache and Russian accent. He was thinking his biggest problem is taking care of the lives of the crew and the passengers in cryopods, but once he has been inside Viper Kraken's mouth, things looked pretty different from there. Pretty dark. Yep.
Definitely.
Some life evaluations are going on.
Okay. Yeah, as a quick reminder to those who may have forgotten the last episode or who didn't catch the last episode, Boris got literally swallowed whole by a Kraken Viper, which is this giant, enormous lamprey-like creature with tentacles around its mouth. And we had two characters get bitten in half by this thing, but Boris was able to get swallowed, stab it in the roof of its mouth like a sharp piece of Captain Crunch, and swim away.
Beautiful description.
I surfed on its back, okay? I did something cool too.
That's true, you did. And amazingly survived.
Yeah.
But now...
That was not cool, that was scary. I'm not
Yeah,
taking the cool mantle.
You win betwixt us this time, but next time I'm getting swallowed twice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get swallowed by one thing, and then that thing's gonna get swallowed. That's what's gonna happen.
I imagine it possible in this
Amazing.
Then I'm gonna cut my way out.
Was that a challenge? Did I
Challenge.
hear a challenge? Shoot. All right.
Leo, I just want to let you know I've got a lot of plot points.
Oh no.
Stop buying more Reapers.
Anyways, going back to the current issues at hand. You went to bed. You all huddled up inside the fridge, as we're calling it, which is the cryopod section of the ship that crashed. And it's basically not quite a hurricane, but getting close to it, size storm outside. You had loud banging on the metal hull of this section as the rain just pelted against it. High winds. You managed to secure the tub, which is the escape pod you all came in on. You managed to secure the tub so that it didn't fly away. But there certainly was some damage to your floating walkway between the two sections. The net got pretty tangled up. It's still intact, but it's pretty tangled up. And the waters are hard to see in. So, one downside to that is you're going to be taking penalties to sight rolls in the water. I'll adjust that on the difficulty check end, so you don't have to worry about calculating anything. But just giving you a heads up, it will be harder to see because a lot of the sands and everything have been stirred up by the storm. But good news, it's the next day. The storm has passed. It's bright and sunny. It's pleasant. It's cooled off a bit. So the temperature is just perfect. If this were any other situation, it would be the ideal day at the beach. But of course, this is not ideal. So, what do you all do as you wake up and survey what happened?
Cry. We're just gonna do a good cry while I pet my duck.
Susie's going to see what all like supplies they have.
Okay. It is going to be a short check.
As sneakily as possible.
It'll be pretty easy to find where they are, so I'm going to do a blend-in check for you. Have you roll that just to see how sneaky you are about it. I'm not going to make you roll sight to find it.
Can I roll gut feeling to see if I'm going to die today?
You certainly can.
I'm going to roll gut feeling just to say, am I going to die if I go outside? 23. What do I got? I'm just kidding.
With a 23, your gut tells you that you are on an alien, unknown, openly hostile ocean planet. Clearly not the habitat that humans were designed to survive in. And as such, there is a decent chance that you will come to harm when you go outside.
Cool.
Also, there's a 15-year-old with a knife.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Honestly,
There's a
the scariest part
15-year-old
about all this.
with a knife who is loudly rummaging through the supplies looking for things while looking suspicious because they're trying to be discreet and failing. You all can hear and see Susie doing this.
Okay, so Boris will spend as much time as needed checking for any possible damage to the cryopod section. Hatches, walls, and energy supply for the cryopods. That's
Okay, give me
Boris' checklist.
let's do a mechanical engineering check for that.
Mechanical engineering check. 9.
9.
Do you want a
Everything
hand with
seems
that,
fine.
Boris?
Standard military issue engineer. Knows nothing.
Yeah, everything looks fine. You don't readily notice anything wrong, and so you don't really have the compulsion to investigate further. So, as far as you know, everything's fine.
It's fine.
Hey, Suze?
Ah!
No, you don't have to. No. Just wanted to talk
Stay
to
the
you.
fuck away from me.
Just wanted to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Why not?
I don't know you. And my parent died around you.
Listen, Chuck and I.
No, you were
good
covered in
friends.
blood.
Yeah, from trying
And
to
you were
save
holding
Chuck.
scissors covered in blood and told me I had to touch your duck.
Oh no, no.
Stay the hell away from me.
Okay, well if you need any fish, I'll have.
I can
have
get
the
my own
chef-
fish.
Okay, all right. Well, bye.
Susie says, "No ducking way."
I'm gonna leave Quackers there near Susie anyway, and then just walk away.
Great. I know what
Okay.
Susie is doing. Susie is taking the supplies needed to make. Let's see. What do I have? I got the kelp samples, and no, we need more silver. She is making herself an O2 tank.
Okay. Real quick, give me a gut feeling check there, Susie.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it, and because
No worries. I believe
all the
it's
wrong
like in the top third of the skill
oh no,
list.
it's just having to switch between the character and the blueprints.
Oh, gotcha.
22.
22. Okay. You actually get a pretty good feeling about Quackers. You're probably still not sure about Lyle, understandably. But Quackers seems like a, if you'll pardon the pun, a good egg.
She
I will not
great
pardon.
little duck.
Nobody else is there with her, so she reaches down and pats Quackers on the head and says, "Don't worry, I'll eat you last."
Quackers just does that little like head shake thing, you know, where ducks shake their head really quick. Does that sort of thing and gives you a little quack and sort of waddles behind you for a few steps.
Whack.
So Susie is grabbing 2 quarts and sorry. Oh, God. I keep pushing on the wrong buttons.
No worries. 2 quarts and I think titanium?
2 titanium.
Yeah. She
Okay.
takes that
Yeah,
and
just-
she makes herself an O2 tank.
Perfect. Just make sure you take it off of the
Yep.
group inventory. Before you can make the O2 tank, you've got to get over to the tub. Because it's the only place where the fabricator is. As
Isn't that
you-
where they were storing everything, though?
It is.
Yeah, it's because they've
Oh,
been
is it?
storing it by the fabricator.
yeah.
Okay, I assumed.
in the tub, but not in the fridge.
Oh, okay. I assumed you were storing everything in the fridge because it's got those 2 giant lockers.
I'd assumed you were in the
But
tub.
yeah,
I
that-
could be wrong.
I'm fine
I
either
thought it was
way.
the lockers too, but
okay.
yeah. mixed signals.
In
Everything is
either case, in either case, you'll still have to go to the tub to do this. So, be it with or without the materials beforehand, as you step out of the fridge to head over there, you notice that the rope walkway with the floating thing, the cord's been broken. It's sort of tangled up over by the tub, wrapped around some coral. All the components are still there. It could probably be repaired, but it's currently non-functional.
Dylan's boogie board is still in the tub, right? Or where was that last?
Who had it last?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
I believe I could. I don't know. I could be I could be
Pretty sure
creating
you
some,
had it.
I could be
Yeah.
creating some sort of memory, but I think that it was lost in the encounter with one of these giant things. Like I think it got like swept away with one of them or something.
I know.
No, that
Someone
was
wrote
the
it
boogie
back.
board.
Oh, okay.
One of
okay.
them was, yeah.
I got it. Okay.
The
Well,
boogie board's still
We'll,
there.
we'll say it was in the fridge then.
Okay. Just gonna use that to get over.
Okay.
Use that, grab a
Uh.
pipe, and basically just do the whole little shuffle, careful, while kneeling on it.
Okay. Give me a quick nimbleness check with advantage then, since you're kneeling.
Sorry, nimbleness with advantage, which is a double roll.
Yeah, I just rolled twice. Okay.
Yeah, 21.
21. Just realized I forgot to add the d4s into everything. Go. Okay, so with a 21, yeah, you make it across, no problem. You're able to pull the boogie board up onto the tub. As you approach, you notice that the door, the side door won't open, but the there is a top hatch, and trying to remember. I don't think Susie knows about the water. So.
Nope. So
So yeah, the side hatch won't open, but you do notice the top hatch.
She goes for the top hatch and opens it up.
Okay. As you open it up, you look down and you can see that probably a good 3 feet of water, standing water is in this tub. It's not high enough to get to the fabricator.
There's empty bottles in here too, right?
Yeah, there's probably still a couple of empty water bottles.
Great. So she's going to carefully go down and collect as much water as she can in a few empty water bottles, using like a piece of like the strapping for the crash strapping, to use them to tie the water bottles together, so she can basically like have them at her hip or kind of as a bandolier of water bottles.
Okay, you're able to get about 4 water bottles, and do a quick mechanical engineering or naturalist. I'll let you choose which.
I will do naturalist, because I have. That is my 25.
25.
That is
Awesome.
my dump stat.
Susie looks around. You're able to look around and see that the tub's been pretty picked over
can
for.
I use a knife for an advantage?
You could, but it won't give you anything more because you've soundly succeeded.
Okay.
It's not too hard of a task here. So as you look around, you can see that the tub's been pretty picked over in terms of materials. There's a lot of the panels on the side that are off. So there's like not really much of an inner hull. It's just the outer hull at this point. And you can tell that it's been stripped down pretty well, but you do find enough crash webbing to put together this little makeshift bandolier. And it's pretty sturdy. And you've got 4 of those water bottles. And the water level has not gone down that much from filling up those bottles, so...
Okay, I make myself my fins. Or sorry, not my fins. I don't have enough stuff to do the fins yet. She makes herself her...
O2 tank?
Yeah, O2 tank. Because...
Fantastic.
The kelp... the kelp... well...
The mushroom stuff?
No, the kelp sacks, I think, is what we need to make silicone rubber.
Oh, the kelp fruit.
Yeah, kelp fruit is what we need to make silicone rubber. Right?
Yes, correct. So, you've got a standard air tank, which, quick reminder, instead of 4 actions, you now have 8. When you start getting deeper, so 100 to 200 meters, that goes down to 6, and at 200 meters plus, it goes down to 4. But anything within 100 meters, you effectively just doubled the amount of air that you can use. So you get 8 actions with that air tank. And because it is the future and it's super special awesome, it refills itself once you break the surface.
Sweet. All right.
It's pretty cash money.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody else, you've been able to see Susie get up, take the boogie board, go into the tub, and you hear rummaging. What do you all do?
I'm gonna kind of ask people's advice on. Is there anything you think I could do around here that you need help with or something? I don't want to travel out too far. Past few days have been really rough.
I think there's a very important task that needs to be done. We need to cook and bottle the water from the tap, the rainwater.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. I think that's easy enough.
It's safe.
Yeah.
There are only few. The tap is only few meters away.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can.
We need to start thinking about some kind of cistern.
What's that?
It's
what type
it's a
of
safe
water
way
would
to
this be
store fresh
Sorry.
water.
Oh, okay.
Alex, could you repeat?
Sorry, what kind of water would this be considered that Susie has?
Bottled water.
Thank you.
So 1d8 units of water per bottle, and your sick chance is only a nat 1.
Without boiling? Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually some of the safest water to drink for now.
Don't let
It
crackers
will.
in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it will eventually spoil,
Mhm.
and because of it's not a potable water container. But at least for the next couple of days, you don't have to worry about it making you sick or anything like that. Which gives you time to convert it into a more stable version. And you did construct how many desalinators?
6 total.
6.
Oh, perfect. So you've got enough water for potentially enough water for everyone. I can get to the right window here. So yeah, that's 1d10 units of water per bottle. So yeah, you'll get 12 of those bottles a day and 12 salt deposits. Because it will filter out the salt for you and put it in a little cube.
That's
Oh,
super.
so do we get salt deposits for from last day because 3 were already running?
Yeah, let's call that 6 filtered water and 6 salt deposits.
Okay, I'm adding salt deposits.
So we can each add a filtered water to our inventory.
Okay. that would be
Yeah.
good.
Right? Could someone update Patrick's character? Make sure.
6 filtered water.
I can do that if nobody else is at the moment.
Yep, go ahead.
Owen Griff.
Thank you.
We're gonna add a 1 filtered water.
There's only
Yes.
one problem with this music, Raven. It's
Hmm.
really, really soothing.
Yeah, it's very
Putting me- it's
disarming.
putting me
I
to
turned it off.
sleep. It's so chill.
Yeah, you're gonna need that chill.
Just turn it down. Turn on like some punk rock or metal, whatever you like. Like rev you up in the background.
I have
Okay.
3 energy drinks and I'm still exhausted.
Oh goodness.
I am trying to stay awake.
All right, so Susie has an air tank. You all get enough water, not enough to fill your quota for the whole day, but quite a fair amount. Plus, you've got all that salt. You could easily make more. What's the word I'm looking for? Now my brain is going blank. Purified water.
Boris turns to another new character.
Who is asleep. Just like sprawled out, just
Okay.
just fucking out.
Ah. Okay, so change of plans. The
Okay.
time's in then. Yesterday it was a very scary thing.
Do you want to talk about it? We didn't really talk about what happened. We just know that you came back and pretty much no one else.
And now, I was weak from the blood loss yesterday. We need to sort some things out. And should we let the kid wander alone out there?
Unless we get her trust, I don't think we have a say in it.
Yeah,
Well-
she just yelled at me and told me to go away.
The kid's got a knife. Listen,
Yeah.
it was bad enough when I got leeches on my legs. I'm not looking to get stabbed because some kid doesn't understand what's going on.
Okay,
Fair.
I'll try talking with the kid because I was down there. Maybe I will somehow explain this without. I'm not worried about getting stopped. Actually, I'm worried about hurting the kid even more.
I think I have something to do with Chuck's death, and then the blood that was on me when they woke up.
That was mine blood.
I know, yeah.
But she doesn't know that.
I have scars to prove. They are not even scars. The bloody leeches.
Sorry.
I'm talking about the bite marks.
Mm-hmm.
They keep bleeding a lot longer than they should. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, they should bleed longer because of the stupid chemical. But you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll take care of the kid, and maybe you give our another new friend a tour of the fridge.
Yeah, I can do that. I've got to set up my telescope again anyway, so.
Okay, so do me and Alex go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm moving to the top.
Yeah, do you think I can tag along because I need to go over there and fill some
the kid seems to be pretty afraid of you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, can someone escort me back over to the tub later, maybe, after this is resolved? Maybe? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
so
who
Sally's
wants to go over to the tub?
Sally's climbing up out of the tub with a air pack on her back and a rather nice-looking bandolier of water bottles.
So, and Boris is standing in the door of the fridge, taking
and she points over
taking
at Boris
situation
with
in
with the spear pipe that she found. You. Which way are the kelp fruit, and what shit is around it?
Well, can we have a little talk first?
No, I need to make fins for myself.
Okay.
Have none of you ever been...
I mean, little.
Fine, show me the way there, we can talk on the way.
No, we can't talk on the way. Well, we could. Okay, actually, you know what? We can have a talk on the way because you can't go alone. You seem like a smart kid, so you know you can't go alone. Buddy system, things like that.
Where was that buddy system that got my parent killed?
We can have a talk. Like you said. So, maybe...
Fine.
Boris yells into the fridge. Okay, small change of plans. We will go grab some kelp fruits. I remember where they are. It was me and the Chuck that got them last time.
Boris, are you sure that's safe?
That was kind of a rhetoric question, wasn't it?
Okay, you're right.
As these waters go, yes, it is pretty safe.
Okay. Just shout if you need us. I'll go set up my telescope and keep an eye on you from up top.
Okay. Can we make another tank first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we plan to make more of them anyway.
You're gonna need more stuff.
Well, first things first, don't spoil the water in the tap.
I wasn't planning on it. It's a smart use of a large pool of fresh water.
Yeah, just checking, just to be sure.
I'm not an idiot. I'm 15. That's all.
Gosh.
Watch as Alex tries to remember what it's like to be a teen.
This is an alien planet.
Oh, geez, it's alien. I wouldn't have guessed.
Okay, Boris tries to stay calm. Okay, can we make the tank? Do I
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
roll
just
something?
no. You can anything that you know blueprints for, as long as you have
Okay.
materials, you can make them.
I'll go and edit the group inventory then.
Cool. So now you've both got air tanks. Are you taking anything else with you?
The board.
Board? Okay.
As a pickup for fruits, they were pretty big, as I remember.
Okay. So we'll have Boris and Susie start heading towards the kelp forest. While they're doing that, was there anything the rest of you would like to do before we go over to that scene?
I think Wilfred is going to wake up finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take your turn.
Yeah, just
How
the-
many size? Wait. Where would I want to put what gear I have on me, like O2 tanks?
On the very bottom.
There should be like a note section at the very bottom.
The ad section.
Press button
many-
and you will get
Um,
a field for that.
Yeah. How many spaces does it take up?
Sorry, which thing?
O2 tank.
Oh, it's if I remember right, it is 2.
Okay.
Did I write that down? We're gonna call it 2
Okay.
for the standard one.
Perfect.
I did not write that down, so I will do that now.
So I leave the welder and take the knife just to note everything
Susie
down.
has
Okay.
one of these spears. Is she able to basically, along the lines of kind of like the basic rope she made for the bandolier? Is there any extra of that she can use to tie to the end of the spear?
Not in the tub. The tub's pretty well
Like,
tapped out.
Is my
Yeah.
mic working?
Yes,
It is.
Okay.
Most-
Yeah, that sounds a lot better, by the way.
Oh,
most
okay,
of
good.
the things that looked like ropes went into the net.
Yeah. You could potentially salvage it from the net or the walkway, but those already had a purpose.
She's gonna salvage it from the walkway.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, Boris would intervene. We need to have
Okay.
our rope bridge fixed.
Why don't you make some solid foundation so you can just walk? I mean,
Because-
you got the stuff to make the habitat builder almost all ready to go.
Because we wanted to
Didn't you guys
swim
pay
for
attention during training?
Boris feels weird listening to this kid acting like their ranking officer.
I love
Uh,
this action.
Can we get some things in the order? We had no time. We had food first, water first, bridges later.
You guys said you've been here for a few days. My parent would have had stuff like this set up on day 2.
Exactly. If there weren't more important things going on.
Yeah,
You wanted-
things
Like
that
giant
go.
sea monsters.
You wanted to have a talk. So let's start with the beginning. So we
Okay.
are no,
Can I explain why I need the rope?
I imagine for something important, actually, because you
Yes.
are a smart kid.
Yes, very
Okay.
important.
I said I'll take Lee to the top later. Okay, take the rope.
Thank you.
All right. So, Wilfred, you said you were waking up.
Yes, I am. It's gonna be a glorious day. I'm gonna stretch my limbs out and kind of work out that soreness a little bit, still coming off that long sleep, and look around. Is Tamsin the only one nearby? Lila still
Lyle's there
there?
as well, yeah.
Oh well, good morning, you kind folk.
Hey.
It's a blessed day to be here, isn't it?
Sorry, your name was again?
Oh, Wilfred.
Wilfred.
You can just call me Willie if you prefer.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Wilfred.
Wilfred it is, yeah.
Well, that's fine. We could be formal. I don't mind the formalities.
You're a grown man. I'm not calling you Willie.
Ah, well, I mean, to each their own.
I had a hamster named Willie.
Was the hamster a grown man?
The hamster, I don't know really how long hamsters live.
About 2 years on average.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Wilfred, you any good with a wrench?
I am gifted, shall we say.
Good. Can you come up and help me reattach the telescope to the top of the crab pod?
Of course. No worries. No problem at all.
Thanks. So I'm gonna start hauling the telescope up to the roof of the fridge.
Do you need my help with anything? I don't really want to go for a swim or anything, but I can help around here.
Lyle, you can't stay in the fridge for the rest of the trip.
I know, but I can't go out there.
Trust me, I don't want to go out there any more than you do, and that's saying something because I know things went badly. But that net needs fixing, and quite frankly, either the kid's gonna kill you or the kid's gonna get along with us. But we got to pull our weight. There's only 5 of us. 6 of us? There's 6 of us.
I have no idea why this kid wants to kill me. I feel like me and Chuck got along greatly. I wish there was like some video evidence of it or something.
It would be nice, but you're gonna have to talk your way out of it. Hopefully Boris does that for you, but you know, at least the kid's out of here for now, and I think we got to take stock of what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, well, just direct me in the right way, Captain.
I'm not the captain. I'm a fucking astrophysicist. Maybe check on your nets, see how much damage there was from the storm.
All right. Yeah, good idea. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see. I definitely want to bring one of these spears with me again. All right. Yeah, I would like to go and check the nets.
Okay. As you step outside, you can see, of course, that the bridge is out. Most of the components to it are tangled up in the coral, minus some cabling that seems to be missing. You also notice that the nets are pretty badly tangled up. Everything seems to be intact, but there's bits that are stuck onto coral, and it's kind of twisted all on itself. But you do still manage to find 2 fish inside there.
Ooh, which kinds?
They're the edible fish as far as mechanics go.
Okay.
But do I might have specific information for you.
That's mainly what I was asking, which kind on the character sheet. But if you at least if you just want to describe what it looks like, that's fine. I'm just curious what color it is.
No, I haven't gotten around to finishing that section yet.
It's not.
So it's one's a blue fish, and one is yellow with blue stripes.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat these fish.
They look very edible.
Excellent. All right, collect those. Keep my head on a swivel if I'm out here.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't get eaten.
Yeah, everything seems to be fine.
I suppose I can dive for supplies around the base at some point today.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Everything seems fine. As you're looking around and you got your head on a swivel, you start to hear some just very calming, very alluring humming coming from under the water.
Oh, no.
Over by the seaweed.
Just stay away from
It
it.
just sounds so wonderful.
Recording
Give me a discipline check.
I don't wanna. All right, I'm looking for. It's a skill. Yeah, it's a skill.
It is
13 total.
13. Yeah, you feel strongly compelled to swim over there and check it out. In your mind, you're thinking maybe it's some piece of technology that managed to wash up in the storm.
Oh yeah, like some sort of sonar device or boombox.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely interested in either of those things. So I will go and swim and check that out.
All right.
Spear in hand.
As you dive under the water, you can see this beautiful looking fish. It's very unassuming. It's got like these giant spread out fins. Almost looks like, what's the name of that dinosaur? Dilophosaur, I think. The one that's got like the really big skin flaps and that spit stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like that, but not scary. The fins are really pretty and wispy and translucent, and they start to glow in different colors, and it's incredibly mesmerizing. Give me another discipline check.
And Lyle finally meets his end at the hand of the Gregorian carp.
What? Why are we talking about ends for? This is just I'm just checking things out. 24.
Oh, good for you. You start to realize the effect it's having on you. Not necessarily that it's on purpose, but you just realize that you're getting fixated on this.
It's starting to get low on air.
You're okay. You're like right next to the surface. It's maybe 3 or 4 meters deep, right here. So it's pretty shallow. All you really have to do is move a little bit, and you can get air. But you realize that you're getting a little bit fixated on these pretty lights, and you're able to sort of shake it off. You can investigate further, or because it is pretty curious, but you realize that it's having some sort of an effect on you. So
yeah,
it's up to you.
I'm pretty sure I've heard others talk about these before, probably if not directly, probably during downtime, since I've encountered them numerous times and have named them and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just gonna go, okay, these are probably those singing fish that they were talking about, and I'm going to swim the hell away as fast as my little legs will take me.
Okay, so you managed to swim away, and you can take note that there's at least one of these carp, these chanter carp, over in the seaweed where the leeches were. Okay. So Tamsin, you're putting the telescope up on top of the fridge. That's going to take you a while, but you're able to do it without any issue. It's pretty darn safe up there. And you notice that there are some birds. They look peculiar, of course, because it's an alien planet. But they have the same basic Earth bird equipment. So wings, feathers. They seem to be, small to medium-sized. Beaks, that whole thing. And give me a naturalist check to see if you can glean any more information out of that.
Mm-hmm.
18? You do seem to notice that they are mostly flying to the west. So if you're facing the back end of the fridge, that's sort of our. It's not necessarily the planet's north, but that's your cardinal direction north for the moment. So west of that is where most of these birds seem to be flying towards.
Okay. I'm going to keep that in mind, and once I'm done setting it up and kind of recalibrating it, I'd like to keep an eye on Boris and Susie.
Okay.
I would just like to point out that Wilfred is absolutely zero help. Has had to be corrected numerous times as to which end of the wrench to apply.
Full enthusiasm, no experience.
Yeah, a lot of pontification about the leverage of the soul, and yeah,
Oh my god.
whole lot of uselessness.
All right. Hey, Mr. Puddins, it's going pretty good. Good to see you. So that's what you two are doing. Lyle, if you would like, you said you were going to do some searching for materials.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Is there a means? We don't have enough enough stuff to make me a like rebreather or whatever, do we?
An oxygen tank? I'm not sure.
I believe we're out of quartz for that. Oh no,
okay.
actually, we I could be wrong on that.
So
Air tank or whatever.
Here's the deal. So when gathering resources, wait, that's not it. Here we go. There. This deciphering my own notes. So for resource gathering, you can do that 4 times per hour, in-game hour. If you want to just look for random things, or you can do one specific item every hour. If you want to spend all your time searching for exactly what you need.
Okay, yeah.
We do actually have enough to make you an O2 tank if you want one.
Okay, yeah. And an O2 tank would let me do it twice the amount of times.
It gives you twice the amount of actions, yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Which won't really increase your resource gathering mechanically, but it will let you do more while you're, like in combat time underwater.
gotcha. Okay. Well then I'll make one of those later. I'll just go and do some. I'll just do some random resource gathering. You said 4 rolls.
Yeah. So just roll the search thing 4 times for every hour that you want to spend searching, and we'll head over to Susie and Boris while you're doing that, and just keep note of what you found. Oh, I spoke too soon because you found some blueprints.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'll stick
I'm gonna borrow
Sure.
Owen's character sheet here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I always forget how many sections there are. So we're gonna roll. So a 9 and a 6. Start with 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is deployables. You find one of 2 blueprints that you need for the Sea Glide. And the second one.
So I do not.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. You get both blueprints for that.
Excellent.
I'm not gonna split it up.
I will update Owen's character sheet.
I'm already on it because I was
Okay,
using
awesome.
his to tell what you have.
Well, there we
left
go then.
to learn.
And the next one is like
So, yeah.
exterior modules. I think was the other one.
I'm just gonna call that the same blueprint. That way you get both.
Okay, awesome. That's even. I like that. Thank you.
No problem. And you should in no way be suspicious by the fact that I'm, giving you all things. This
Just
session.
want us out of the
Don't worry about
shallows.
What's a Sea Glide?
it. It's like a handheld jet ski
Basically.
kind of a thing.
We're building that ASAP. Just saying.
It lets you move a lot faster.
So, is it a small submarine? One?
No.
Uh,
Just a
no,
little handheld.
it's like a handheld propeller, essentially.
Oh, so it's in tools.
It basically pulls you
Yeah.
along in the water. It's
It's-
actually
it's
based
in
off of
deployables.
it's actually based
Okay.
off of a tool divers use today.
No, I get it. I just wondered which one it is on the list.
Yeah.
It's a Seamoth.
And it
That's
runs
the,
on-
mini sub.
It's the legally distinct from Seamoth small submarine. But yeah, the Sea Glide is in deployables, yeah, and it runs on batteries, so it will run out of battery power gradually. Okay, cool. Were you gonna keep looking for stuff there, Lyle?
Yeah. Yeah, I rolled 4 times already. And
Okay.
did someone record what I found? Or
Copper, caustic shrooms, and a gas pod.
okay. All right. Do I need to add that to group inventory, or is someone group inventory manager? Because I'll add it.
I'm open. I hope it opens, so I'll add it. Gaspot.
Thank you. You're such a.
Okay.
Well, that's what I was hoping for, Boris.
Go ahead and roll 4 more times if you're gonna spend another hour on it.
Yeah, I definitely would.
And then we'll hop over to Susie and Boris.
Salt.
The coral tube sample, caustic shrooms, metal salvage. So that's 4 titanium. That's what that's worth. And a salt deposit.
Salt deposit. Excellent.
All right. So that happens. Uneventful, other than the chanter carp that you ran into. So we're gonna hop over to Susie and Boris, who I assume have been heading over towards the kelp forest. Tamsin, by the time that they make it to the kelp forest, you're able to just visually see them on your own. They're a good ways off, and then after a while, you'll be able to set up the telescope to watch them. So, Susie and Boris,
Okay, so before
you
we
get
actually
up to the kelp forest.
no, before we actually get there, we will be having some talk, paddling
Yep.
with our legs,
Okay.
and having the talk.
All
So,
right.
well. You see, I'm Boris. We probably didn't have time to introduce. I probably
No,
didn't
I
have
heard
time.
people calling you Boris.
Yeah, okay. You see, Chuck was a smart person, and you are very much like Chuck, and it's another stupid thing I said because I already heard you are Chuck's clone. So forgive me for being a little stupid here. I'm just an engineer. I do with engines.
Okay. I didn't say you were stupid.
I feel like I'm out of everything here.
Well,
Ah.
yeah, you're an engineer in the middle of an alien ocean.
But you see, let's start with first things first. Lyle is not dangerous. It was my blood. These stupid leeches.
I don't know. He gives me some. He didn't see it like when I came out. He looked like he was enjoying the fact that he was covered in blood.
Actually, Lyle is the meekest one here.
It's always the ones you don't expect. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, watch that guy. He gives me major psycho vibes.
You're misinterpreting a little. I think there's some
Yeah,
character bleed
you-
here, maybe from real life.
No, not at all.
You got this partially right. He's not the most stablest person, but his instability goes exactly opposite way.
I don't know. I
He's-
don't trust him.
Okay, it's fair. You don't need to trust him entirely, but also, well, you are a survivalist like Chuck, and you know that trust is pretty essential in situations like this. Okay, so we don't. Well, take your time, but you. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I will have to break it to you.
You're not
like
good
this.
at talking to people, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. How about you pretend I'm an engine? Would that help?
Oh,
No.
this is gonna go bad.
No, because I don't need to tell the engines how their parents die. Engines don't require this being said to them.
Now Susie's eyes are tearing up.
What do you mean cheering up?
Tearing up, like they're filling up with tears.
Oh, tearing, not cheering.
Yeah,
Okay,
tearing.
sorry.
Tearing up. Susie looks like just about ready to like burst out, like sobbing.
Yep. And that's why well, what do you want me to say? Some platitudes
Sorry,
like
baby.
don't cry.
No. Fuck you. I'm gonna cry if I want to.
Exactly. Because everything we've been told are just platitudes. You said something about company training. If I were to tell you that your parent got eaten by 150-meter thing, you would call me a liar, right? Things don't grow that big.
Well, actually, no, I wouldn't, because they do grow that big in large enough oceanic environments, because the pressure put on the bones isn't put in the same way. A lot of old earth animals were that size when they were in the ocean.
But you would believe me if I said that this fact caught us by surprise?
Well, we're on an alien planet, so maybe, yeah, I don't know, okay? I just woke up. I just woke up on a weird place with blood everywhere and a guy demanding I touch his duck.
Yes, that's his coping strategy.
I promise the duck I'll eat it last.
Yes, we did too.
Wait, is that among the rest of us? They're gonna eat the duck last among. Yeah.
We also decided not to eat it for the most pragmatic reason. It would not last us long, and it's good to have a piece of home with us here. So, this planet really wants to fuck you up. And I've told you it's safe to go for the kelp fruit, but what I meant, it's relatively safe. Because things that are down there in this...
Well, then tell me what's down there, aside from 150-foot long mega predators.
Yeah, whatever we find, it seems like raising the bar. We find small pretty fish, and it has psionic effects on us. We find...
Okay.
Whatever we find, it just keeps raising the bar.
So...
That's why
What's this about psionic effects? What is this like? What do you mean? Like a psychic fish?
Psychic fish, yeah. It's singing and luring you away, and it has teeth like
a siren?
Yeah, like this big fish, like this little fish. I know it's physically impossible, but that's how it feels.
Okay. No. Okay. So got mega predators. You have psionic deathfish that sing. What else?
3 to 4
from hell.
Leeches from hell. They are the least dangerous thing we found.
Okay.
And just between the singing psionic fish and the 150-meter krakens are the 4-meter long eels with bucket-sized mouth full of screwdriver-sized teeth.
What do they eat?
Us, obviously.
Well, no, because you just said.
Yeah. I know.
Anybody has been the 150-meter long. If these are actively hunting predatorily, they would have been coming into the shallows.
Oh, right. Good, you reminded me. Your parents said that they are territorial. They are defensive. And we have to go into their territory.
Okay, then what do they eat? What do they like to eat?
Your parent recorded a lot of things on the scanner.
Okay. shoot. Okay, if they're predatory, quick, we should catch some fish.
And taking care.
No, if we have the fish with us when they try to attack us, we give them the fish. They go away because we're showing that we're not dangerous. We're not encroaching on their territory. We're giving them things.
I would say that wouldn't work because they want to chase us out.
Trust me on this. There are ways of basically working on territorial animals' territory and coming off as territorial.
And you are doing. Can I break it to your heart? It was a rhetoric question. That's what your parent thought. That we can apply the rules we know to these creatures. And that's the end of the story.
Okay, then we watch out for them and swim real fast when they try to eat us. Maybe?
Yes.
Can we at least try keeping some fish on us to try and see if maybe
next we can try, of course. You can try a lot of things. I just try to warn you about thinking you know things here.
No, it's pretty damn obvious. I don't know very much. I know I remember enough of the training courses to know about the things we can use the fabricator for building and stuff and habitat.
And the computer is the biggest pain in the ass here. It lost 90% of its memory, and we are actually.
Oh, well, we're screwed.
Okay, now we're on the same page.
We're all screwed.
No.
And she breaks down sobbing.
And stops paddling.
Oh no!
We
Doesn't
stop
even
paddling.
take a full day.
So, time to move to the next stage. He stopped paddling, and I'm patting Susie on the back. Okay, now we can move.
And she hugs Boris, and she just sobs on him.
I hold with one hand to the board, and I hug her with my other arm. Now we can move to the next stage.
Right. She pulls out the spear with the line attached to it. I'm gonna catch some fish. And I'm gonna use my spear fishing speciality.
And I will... Well, wait. Just one thing before you start, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry your parent died. I was watching their back while it happened, and I'm take it personally. Let's not make it about me. Let's just believe me. There was nothing we could do. Okay?
Thank you.
This thing ate me, but I survived because it did it without chewing.
That's good information to know. They don't chew.
Yes, they chew. That's why
they didn't chew you.
I was lucky.
You lucky unchewed man.
Yep.
All right. I'm guessing probably around that.
I will watch your back as I did your parents.
I have to go and take a quick bio break. So feel free to work on Tamsin's side.
I go to.
Perfect. That's actually where I was going with that. So they make it to the kelp forest probably around that time, but have not gone into it. So let's hop back over to Wilfred and Tamsin since Lyle is hunting resources.
So
Now-
am I watching them? Am I watching Susie kind of break down and cry?
Yeah, you probably set up the telescope by that point. You can see that Susie is crying, but
Okay, so I'm
Boris is
kind of like play-by-playing it to Wilfred, just to say yep, and this is what's happening now. Now she's crying. Now Boris is hugging her.
Shit. Yo, give me 1 second. I got a knock at the door.
Yeah, no worries.
no worries.
So while that's going on and they're clearly not in danger, I'm going to take a quick swivel over and see if I can spot anything to the west.
Sure. Give me a sight check.
That's blueprints. This is my best skill. It's a 26.
Nice. So, off to the west, which is past the kelp forest. So kind of along that same visual line, but past it. You notice.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Kind of. No worries. You notice kind of hard to see, but certainly within traveling distance with something like, say, a sea glide. You notice an island. You can see there's clearly land. You can see that's where the birds are flying. It's a little hard to make out at this distance, because it's a, if I remember correctly, it's a pretty rudimentary telescope, right? Yeah, so you can kind of make out the outline of trees, you think?
But it's clearly got like, fauna? No, flora.
Flora. Yes, there's some sort of flora on there. You're just not quite sure what.
Thames is gonna start kind of like giddily shrieking without using words to Wilfred, like, what
No, what is it? What is it now?
Okay, right along this, and I'll kind of like try to guide his eye along to the west.
Oh,
it's land.
Oh, my word! This is a fortuitous turn of events indeed. Now, what do you say we make our way out there? How do we make our way out there? That seems like an awful far away.
That's a really far distance. So unless we get a boat or, you know, like anything remotely good at traveling those distances, that also kind of crosses over where those big things are that killed the last 2 people.
Oh, well, that should mean they're not hungry right now, at least, right? No
yeah,
time
that's one
like
way
the
to look
present.
at it. The other way to look at it is 2 of my friends are dead.
Oh, well, that is unfortunate, but on the bright side, they are not stranded on this planet anymore. They have found an eternal
Wilfred,
resting place.
if you don't want to swim with the leeches, I suggest you stop.
I'm merely trying to offer platitudes.
I understand it. I don't need platitudes. They've literally been dead less than a day. Give it a time.
So have you heard the story about the Padawan who walked alone in the
we found land! Kind of like,
I found some salt.
good
Oh my
good
god.
job.
He's a natural finder, isn't he?
That's Lyle.
He found salt in what I assume is a saltwater ocean.
Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my circus, not my monkeys.
I see. Well, this is unfortunate indeed. Now I do hate to be a burden, but where can I get some coffee at?
When you make a coffee maker, you can have all the coffee you want.
Well, all right. How do I go about doing that?
That's up to you to decide. I'm sure your God will guide you where you need to go. And with that, Tamsin's gonna climb down the fridge back inside.
All right. All right. So Wilfred, you're left alone up there on top of the fridge. What do you do from here?
It is a nice day.
It really is.
I think I'm gonna spend an hour or so just enjoying the nice day until he gets twitchy and bored. And then he's gonna hop on down. Well, no one's told him where the fabricator is. So
It's true.
he's just gonna go find Tamsin again.
Don't tell him where the fabricator is, otherwise he's gonna use the titanium and just make a bunch of like crosses and put them all over
Oh my God.
the outside of our building.
Oh. It'll be crossed lightsabers since it's the.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Right.
forgot. That's right. He's a Jedi preacher. My bad.
Yeah.
The only religion to last this long.
Oh my god. All
I
right.
think Tamsin's probably inspecting the walkway just to see how much damage it took and what it might take to fix it.
Now be careful, ma'am.
All it's gonna take is. Sorry,
I was gonna say, be careful, ma'am. The path you walk is treacherous in more ways than one.
All the materials are still there. It would just take some time to put it back together. The only thing that's missing is the rope that Susie took. So you'll need to make some kind of rope.
Question.
Would
Would I be able to make
Yes.
poles kind of segmented instead of using rope to replace it? Something a little
Sure.
stiffer.
You could use the pipes. Probably would take about
I think what I'd actually want to do is I'd want to make,
3 or 4 titanium worth.
if I can, is to make some poles that will line it to kind of attach it to. Just not necessarily foundations, but like stilts, supports almost.
Yeah. If you want to go that route, let's call that 6 titanium worth of pipes. So that should be 35? No. 30? 30.
Okay.
30 pipes.
I'll take the titanium off. It was how much? Sorry.
6.
Okay, someone else is in it, so if you don't mind, 6 off that. Do you want me to make a roll or anything?
Yeah, let's do mechanical engineering. Just see. It's pretty much just gonna be like a pass-fail type grade.
11.
Okay. You struggle for a while. It takes you longer than you thought it would, but you're able to get it done.
Okay. It mostly takes me a long time because I have to
and-
ignore what Wilfred's getting on about.
Yes.
Like, I'm busy.
And you're able to use those platforms and chunks of inner hull plating along with the pipes to make it an actual catwalk.
Excellent. Okay.
So yeah, good job. With that, let's hop back over to Susie and Boris. So you've reached the edge of the kelp forest. It's murky. It's hard to see.
Susie would have been trying to catch some fish on the way there too.
Yes.
Okay. Just give me a naturalist roll. And any applicable training.
Yes, that would be the training, spearfishing. So 3. Plus 3, so 22 plus 3 is 25.
25. Nice. Yeah, you managed to catch. Let's call that a 1d8. That's a really good roll.
Well then. Oh,
Let's let you roll that because I rolled poorly.
4.
4. There you go.
Okay.
You find you managed to catch 4 fish.
Perfect. She gives 2 of them over for Boris because, well, if this works, at least this way they'll like both of us.
Okay.
I hope you didn't say it's for them to like us.
Well, yeah, if we do this right and it works, they'll like us. Like, you know how humans eventually domesticated wolves into dogs into the Chihuahua kin? You know, the people of the Chihuahua? Those who walk upright?
And hold little handbags.
I assume you mean dogs, and yeah, but they also didn't domesticate I'm searching my mind for the right animal. Hyenas? Or
Yes,
the Wolverines. Wolverines.
there's domesticated wolverines. There's been that way for years in Canada. Don't you know about the act that passed? The one that allowed for domesticated wolverines and polar bears. Moose are still iffy on whether or not they're truly domesticated or not.
Possible.
But that's a big debate.
Canadians. Canadians, am I right? Domesticated wolverines.
So it's possible, but I bet it took few trial and error runs.
Yep.
Error runs means you are getting.
It means that it is not accepted yet. It doesn't mean you die automatically.
It just doesn't not mean that.
Not automatically, okay.
I am trying to be positive. I am trying not to think about the fact that I am stranded in the middle of an ocean that I can't see the bottom of. And I don't know about these things.
The bottom is very close, actually. That was one thing that's good here.
Okay, good. I still can't see it right now.
What? Oh, right. That's a complication. The water was much clearer before the storm. It's a thing I should know. Yeah, I bet.
It's okay. We're just gonna go swimming and get these things so I can have proper fins.
So, if I say you how things look like because I was down there and gathering them, would that help you?
Yes, a lot.
So
she's pulling out her pocket knife, which has it's like a thick pocket knife. It has dozens of tools.
So to make things faster, I describe how deep it was here, how tall were the weeds, where the fruits were, and so on and so on.
As well as probably a description of how to spot or mentally spot the singing fish. Maybe.
Boris has no experience with singing fish.
Right. Okay. You just told me.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
I know what they are. I've seen them from a fair distance.
If I hear singing, come back to the surface. If something is screaming at me underwater, come back at the surface. If anything seems off, I'm probably going to come back to the surface. You want to come with me?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we have tanks.
I'm going to put the water bottles on top of this for right now.
Oh, and the fruits are big, so we took these to use as our...
Yep. I'm going to put the water bottles on top of here for right now so they're not weighing me down. So my aerodynamics are still... My fluid dynamics are still... Because they drag on the water. Because they're hanging
that's
off
better description, yeah.
Okay.
Essentially...
Okay.
Same thing as aerodynamics. It's just in water. It's fluid.
No, I'm still thinking about these darn eels.
Okay, well, you got the fish. Put the one fish in your hand.
Okay.
If it comes near you, just shove the fish in its mouth and yank your hand back.
But let's be clear on one thing.
Yes.
You go up. I try the fish.
Okay.
You... Okay. And ignore anything I'm going to mutter under my breath about this being a stupid idea, okay? Just give it that one to me.
Can you teach me some Russian swear words? I only know formal Russian. I want to know Russian swear words.
Here, a roller coaster. Stop making me do that. One thing at a time.
Well, okay, fine. I will swim to the surface if you teach me Russian swear words.
Please, Dad.
You will swim to the surface if you see the eel, and maybe I will teach you some words when I get some things here in order.
Okay.
Back at the fridge.
That's fair. Wait, there's a fridge?
Okay.
The small thing is a top, and the big thing is a fridge because of the, cryopats.
I see. I thought you were calling it tub because you guys were using it as a water cistern.
Well, yes.
But why are you calling it fridge then? There's no refrigeration. They're just cryopods.
How the refrigerator and cryo technology is not the same?
Because I rather not like to think of people as like meat popsicles.
It's essentially what they are at the moment.
That's disturbing.
On the plus side, at least they're not stuck on a stick.
Well,
some of them.
Yes, maybe you're right.
All right.
Okay, let's do the thing.
All right. So, fish in hand. You ready?
Okay. You swim down. Give me a sight check to see what you notice.
We both swim down there.
Ah. Oh, that was
Awesome.
bad.
Sight check.
What do we have? Can I borrow a D?
Okay.
No,
D4.
I've seen more.
Oh yeah, you see more, so you can point things out to me.
Also, a D4 will not help you.
Yeah, I just realized that. That's why I'm not gonna do it.
A D4 could potentially help Boris.
Okay, you
you'd
know
like
what?
to juice that up a little
I'm
bit.
going to do that. I'm gonna help Boris. All right, so I make that an 11.
Okay.
I think she meant if Boris also.
So an 11.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I'm
No
sorry. that
worries.
my brain
I was-
interpreting it.
No, you're good. My brain was trying to figure out, like, okay, so if you got an 11, what would that actually add to the roll? Yeah, it's just if Boris does it.
So, do I roll? Well, I roll.
Would you
1d4.
like to use a D4?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
used the D4 that I didn't use because I misheard it.
It happens. It's all good.
20, exactly what we needed.
Perfect. Yes. It allows you to see a little bit. You can notice that it is very murky here. A lot of the plant material seems to have gotten stirred up. Some of the smaller leaves on the kelp and some of the just like seaweed type stuff that grows along the bases has come loose and it's floating everywhere. All the water is a murky green color, and it's much harder to see. You notice a tiny bit of movement below you, but it's really hard to make out what and how many. And you do see, actually because it's so dark, you're able to see a little bit of that bioluminescent glow of the kelp fruit
Oh, nice.
right in the middle of the kelp forest,
So we'll head.
going pretty deep into it.
So I guess we'll head there via the surface, and start diving from there.
Yeah.
So
Try
we'll
to
go
get on
up.
top of it as much as possible.
All right, give me just a from both of you a words swim check to make sure that you can navigate through these
20.
kelp. Yeah, you're both fine. Susie, move a little bit more easily, and manage to get there first. Boris, you get tangled up on one of the big kelp leaves at one point, but you're able to pull yourself free. And as you both look down, with your heads in the water, you can both notice a little bit more movement, but again, it's so murky down there, it's hard to tell how many of whatever it is that's down there.
Let's
You
hope.
can make good guesses.
I hope it's murky for them too.
Okay.
I know. That's
Uh,
better.
As you head down to the kelp, are you trying to be, quiet and sneaky?
Susie's trying not to. She's not trying. She's basically swimming. She's swimming in a manner that is specifically designed to not stir up silt. It's called frog swimming. you're pushing your way through the water out to the side, and you do the same with your legs, and it creates the least amount of current drag to pull around the silt. It's used when you're going over sandy areas and reefs and stuff, so you still want to be able to see things and disturb the wildlife as little as possible.
Well,
Hi, I used to
because
scuba
of that,
dive.
well,
because of that explanation, you can roll blend in or swimming.
okay,
whichever
but
you
what
prefer.
was the point if all that Boris can is not trash around on purpose?
Oh, and I rolled a 7. Susie knows it in
All right.
theory.
And Boris.
So I'm not
Uh,
trashing on purpose.
okay, go roll blend in then.
But I have
24, all right.
experience.
So yeah, Boris, I'm just gonna assume that you head down first. You've got more experience. You've been here before. You head down first. You do a great job. You're sticking really close to that stalk of the kelp, and you're able to make it to the kelp fruit. As you get there, you can see a little bit better, a little bit closer to the bottom, and you notice about 6 wiggling shapes in that murky water. And you do hear a couple of small roars as they seem to be sort of yelling at each other. And you hear the scraping of teeth on metal. And near as you can figure, they're having some sort of tug of war with a piece of metal right below the stalk that you're next to. But they don't seem to notice you.
And I would, with hand size, I suggest we do our job simply. That's all.
Okay.
Snip,
So
snip the fruits and ignore them as long as they ignore us.
Okay. You're able to get about one of those fruit things in hand when you glance back over your shoulder, and you basically see Susie doing like a frantic dog paddle in the water. And it's loud, even for underwater.
The buoyancy is weird in this water.
Sure. And she keeps kind of running into the stalk, which shakes the whole thing. And that's when you hear a louder roar right underneath you.
Okay.
We're gonna go into sort of a combat order here.
The plan is for Susie to leave, and Boris is cover that retreat.
Okay. We're gonna start with Susie. So Susie, you keep getting tangled up in this kelp stalk, and you're getting closer to Boris when you hear the screeches, and you can probably see Boris doing the up symbol.
Yeah, no, you know what?
What do you?
She might be all bravado and bossiness when it comes to people, but being screamed at in the face while underwater really makes you just want to go back up to the surface real fast.
Okay. Give me a swim check.
20. Oh, natural 20. 35.
Nat 20. Nice. Yeah, you zoom right on up there. You break the surface of the water, and you are more safe than Boris at the
Okay.
moment.
Boris,
what do you want to do?
Boris will want to paddle up while holding a fish and matter. Well, I would matter if I were on the surface. Now I just think I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Because I deliberately slow my escape a little.
Okay.
With
So as you're
I'm-
trying to like
I'm paddling with my legs up, one hand, fish in one hand, knife in the other.
Okay. That makes sense. Give me a swim check. Let's see how quickly you're able to retreat. 15. Okay. So you're making your way back up. It's the Macrogar's turn, and it you start to see its mouth rapidly approaching as it's just emerging out of this murky water. and becoming more visible.
Fish drop.
Fish drop.
All right, as you drop the fish, it opens its mouth really wide and starts coming towards you and the fish. And that sounds like a great spot to take a 10-minute break.
The tension!
So we'll find out what happens with Boris and Susie when we come back. We're going to take a break for about 10 minutes. And when we come back, we'll have Patrick here with Owen back in the mix. And we'll see what Owen's been doing this whole time as well. So stick around. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Bye.